Hey guys, welcome back to HyperTora. I've got my Tokyo treat here for April. It's arrived a day or so ago. I've only just had a chance to open it up. So it looks like we're getting slightly back on schedule now with shipping. After the Christmas period, everything was quite delayed between the sort of earthquakes and other bits that were going on out there, and the typhoons and stuff. But yeah, we're back on track now. So let's open this up and see what we've got inside it. Okay, so that was hanging out a bit. This is pretty cool. So we've got Easter surprise as our April theme for the month, which is pretty cool. And we do have another little bit of information in here. They've included another drink, Sakura, something that we'll find out in a bit, I suppose. But let's open this up like we usually do on the info page, and see what we've got. So I think what this essentially says is something that's in this booklet they've swapped out, and they're going to bring in a different month, because they wanted to get these ones in with the Easter ones, because it's Sakura season. So we'll see what that is when we get there. Anyway, so our first item in here, it looks like some potato chips, some sort of green bean flavouring. So this is Calbee garlic edamame potato chips. So that'd be interesting. I don't think we've ever had, or I've never tried garlic potato chips before. So that'll be an entirely new experience for me. And certainly it's quite good to have a different flavouring in the Tokyo treat boxes, because we're getting potato chips a lot more often now than we used to. So that's pretty intriguing. Next up, we got some caramel corn. We tend to get these reasonably often, not every month. But this seems to be Tahato caramel corn tiramisu, so that's a different flavouring to usual. So the nice thing is, when we tend to get these, they do try to put different flavourings in. We haven't had a tiramisu flavoured before. I'm assuming it might be slightly chocolatey. I'm not entirely sure how that will work out. I'll give it a go in a bit. Next up, we have, it looks like some sort of chocolate brownie biscuit things. So both those items we just had were from the premium box, but this is from our classic box. So they say good moist chocolate. So I'm not entirely sure that's a brilliantly good translation. It might just mean that they're quite soft. So that will be interesting to try out. Next up, we got a little Easter egg style thing, which is pretty good because we got our Easter theme this month. This is burrata egg chocolate. If I pronounce that right. So these little chocolate-filled egg-shaped containers come in white, pink, yellow and green, and can be decorated with stickers or a pen. Ah, that's pretty cool. So I've got a little white one here, and presumably when we take the wrapping off, we can actually decorate it if we wanted to. Next up, we've got a corn potage soup-style savoury snack. I think these are going to be kind of like puffed corn snacks, which are designed to taste a little bit more like the soup. Next up, this looks like our DIY candy. We've got some gummy that you dip in chocolate and put some sprinkles on. This reminds me of the kind of banana-y things. It is banana flavoured by the look, so we have had DIY candies like this before. I don't think it's actually been that long since we've had DIYs like this. We seem to have a lot less new DIYs lately. They all tend to sort of follow a similar theme. Next up, we've got some sort of lollipop. I think might be chocolate. So our DIY was obviously from the classic box, but this here, if I can find it, it's a Sherbet cola candy stick. I don't quite know. That's not what this is. Where is this? Oh no, mini chocolate lollipop. So that's yeah, chocolate like I thought it was. There, and this will be the Sherbet cola candy stick. We have stuff similar to this in the UK, which I haven't had in a very long time. So that'd be quite interesting. It'll be a lollipop, and it have sherbet at the bottom, which you dip in, which can be, depending on the flavour, can be a little bit sour. Next up, we've got these always remind me of sugar puffs, because they're the kind of puff things that sugar puffs, if you've ever had them, are based on. This looks like it's milk and coffee taste. I don't think I'm going to enjoy this purely because I'm not a coffee drinker. I've just never been too keen on the taste of coffee. So that might be a bit of a miss for me. But those of you out there, I'm sure there's lots of you that like coffee, will probably quite enjoy that. Next up, we have one of our party or share packs from the classic box. It's Calbee Kappa Shrimp 4-pack. Don't really know what to say much about these. We've had a lot of shrimp snacks, especially this kind of shrimp snack. So I wouldn't say there's anything really new with this. We seem to be getting these more and more often. Next up, we have some Easter break banana Kitkats, which is pretty funky. These look familiar, so I'm not sure if we've had something similar to these before, quite recently, but in a different flavour. The bananas with the Easter theme is very familiar to me. Maybe I'm thinking of last year, possibly, but the banana Kitkats sound quite nice. I have a really lingering feeling that we've had those recently, though, banana Kitkats. Next up, we have some more puff snacks. This looks like it's a kind of sugar-free cereal bar. So this is from the it's a rice puff bar from the classic box. It looks like it's going to be quite sweet. These again remind me of the similar kind of puffs that you get from sugar puffs. Next up is our Amiibo. This feels broken on the inside, but this says Dragon Bar. So it's in collaboration with the Puzzles and Dragons game, which I haven't played, which will be interesting. I don't know, it doesn't say what flavour this is, so it could quite possibly just be a plain Amiibo. And then finally our drink is our Pepsi Sakura flavour. We've had Sakura Pepsi before. I think that this is an all new recipe which they've managed to get hold of in a limited edition. It's pretty cool because it's like tastes like Pepsi but it's pink. But then it's got the kind of cherry blossom flavouring to it. And this is what this little note that came with it was. Obviously, after they printed the booklets, they managed to get hold of these and they decided to switch them out. So it looks like they've got Coca-Cola Fanta Yogurt Banana Mix in this booklet, which will be an item that we'll get in a later box instead. Let's start this off by trying the drink out, because I absolutely love cherry blossom. It smells absolutely amazing from the last kind of Sakura Cola we had. That's really nice. It's really refreshing. It's got the taste of Pepsi, but with the refreshing flavouring that Sakura, the cherry blossom, brings to it. It feels very juicy and very moreish compared to just drinking very sugary, basic Pepsis. Next up, let's try out our Calbee shrimp snacks. Now, I'm pretty sure we've had a fair amount of these before. They're like little French fries. They have a very fishy smell to them, which I tend to. That's why I tend to prefer fresh fish, because you don't tend to have so much of a smell like you do with savoury snacks. To me, that tastes a bit more like the potato snack than it does shrimp. It's not very strong, but nonetheless, it's interesting snack if you like seafood. I still don't find that much of a shrimpy flavouring to that, which is a little bit unusual actually. Next up, we've got our Amiibo. Don't know what smell that is. What it reminds me of. Reminds me a little bit of Remutant, but I don't know if that's because I've had a cold recently. That is quite odd. I'm not sure what the flavouring of that is, but it remarkably reminds me of Ramune candy. It was initially a bit sweet and then a little bit sour. I'm not too sure what to make of that. That's quite a different flavouring than I'm used to. If you do get this box and you get that one, and you think it might just be my taste buds a bit out, let me know what you thought it tasted like. That's quite intriguing. It's quite nice to get a few odd things in this box, because we don't tend to get as many of them as we used to, which makes for an interesting video when I have to try weird and wonderful things I've never heard of before. Next up, we've got this little egg. If I can open it up without cutting myself. I'm not entirely sure how little kids get into these in Japan, because I'm struggling. There's a little gap at the bottom. There we go. So we take the wrapper off. We've got a little egg. It looks like there's a kind of seal on the bottom here, but also a door. Oh, it slides. That's pretty funky. So there's a little sliding top to this egg. I've never seen anything like that before. That's pretty cool. And then on the inside, we have what look to me to be little, if I don't throw them across the room, look to be like little Smarties, which is pretty funky. I wonder what these taste like compared to the Smartie kind of things we have in the UK. About the same as any sugar-coated chocolate you get. They're really nice. That might be one of my favourite things for this box, other than the cola. Next up, we got our tiramisu caramel corn. Now, I've never been a big fan of tiramisu because I'm not a big fan of coffee. So much like the coffee beans, I'm not too sure whether I'm going to like these. It smells very strong of the coffee part of tiramisu. It doesn't actually have a very strong coffee flavouring. I say it's quite sweet, with just a hint, which isn't too bad actually. So I think I'd be able to cope with eating these. If anything's got a very strong coffee flavour to it, I struggle to eat it. But now I've had a couple, I can just about taste the coffee. And normally I'm quite sensitive to being able to taste coffee. I can tell when people have used a spoon for a drink of coffee and then use the same spoon in my drink. There. Next up, we may as well stay with the coffee, the milk and coffee puffs. So, if anyone's ever heard of sugar puffs before, these are just like those, but without the sugar, and obviously flavoured with coffee and milk. That definitely has a slightly stronger taste of coffee in it. The milk makes it a little bit better. But again, for me, I'm not too keen on coffee, so that's not for me. But for those of you that like coffee, that probably is quite a nice snack. It's quite a different kind of snack from what you'd get in most of the rest of the world. We'll stay with the puff theme, so we'll try our little rice puff bar. Oh, that looks sugary. This is nice and round. It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. I don't think there's any particular flavouring to that, other than just the usual flavour of rice puffs. There's no added flavouring to that. It's quite nice. Just have a little snack if you're not too worried about flavouring or anything else. It's probably up some people's street. Next up, we have our banana Kitkats, which to me are very familiar. They've got a little Easter egg on them. I can smell the banana already. And if it's your first time watching and you've not had Japanese Kitkats before, they always have a little area on the back, normally for a message to be written, because they like to give these to family at exam time. This is quite strong banana flavoured. It's that kind of artificial banana flavouring, which I quite like. It's a kind of banana flavouring you get with your sweets, if you get banana flavoured sweets. So that's quite nice. It's always quite moreish. I still have the feeling that we've had that at some point in the last 6 months. I wouldn't know without looking back through videos. If you've been watching my videos and you recognise it, do let me know down in the comments below. Next up, we have our corn potage. I'm a bit comprehensive sometimes about things like this because we've had soup flavoured things before and they've been a bit odd, especially when they've been drinks. They're right. They have a very, very strong flavour of corn to them. It's a savoury snack. That's if you love corn and you love the taste of corn, that's going to be a very good snack for you. It's almost a little bit like buttered corn, but it's a very, very strong corn flavouring to that. Next up, we have the garlic and edamame, if I can pronounce that right, potato chips. I'm not sure what I'm going to make of these. They don't smell too bad. They smell almost like any other potato chip. Now I've had one of those that's got a very strong taste of garlic to it, which I wasn't expecting because I couldn't smell it. But I can definitely taste that garlic, which I wasn't expecting to be so strong. If you're not a fan of garlic, you probably wouldn't like that. But if you're a big garlic bread or a kind of fan, or you put lots of garlic in your food, then you'll probably absolutely love that. Next up, we have our chocolate brownie cakey things that are supposed to be soft. So, good moist chocolate. I still think that's a bad translation, but it says melts right in your mouth. They're quite nice. They taste like chocolate biscuits, but they are a lot softer and moister, which is quite nice and refreshing. It's compared to biscuits when you get a very dry mouth afterwards. So they're pretty nice actually. They almost look a little bit like some sort of puffed snack that's been chocolate flavoured, but they don't taste too much like puffed rice or wheat. So that's something different. Next up we have we'll stay with the chocolate for the moment. We've got our chocolate lollipop. So we have a little gestury character on there. I'm not sure what the character is. Yeah, if you know what that character is, let me know in the comments below. But this looks like it's going to be your normal chocolate with maybe some strawberry chocolate on top. So that's definitely strawberry chocolate on top of some normal chocolate. There. That actually reminds me of the ice cream you get with the vanilla, the chocolate, and the strawberry. I won't try and pronounce it, but that's very familiar with that. And before our DIY candy, we have one last item, which is our cola sherbet lollipop. So we got big cola lollipop with a little bag of sherbet. Tastes just like cola, which is quite nice. And I'm wondering if this is going to be sour or sweet. It's quite nice. It's not as sour. Some of the ones you get in the UK are quite sour. That's quite nice actually. It's sweet, not overpowering. There. So finally, our last item in this box. It's not been too bad a box. There's been some new things and a few repeats. But let's see what our DIY candy's like. Now, given we've had a few ones like this before, I'm reasonably confident that I can do this without the instructions. Which would be my famous last words. So, in the packaging we've got a little chocolate sauce sachet. We've got some little beady, they're not quite sprinkles, they're little beads, sugar beads, and then we've got our little banana shaped things. Okay, so we've got our banana snacks here with our chocolate, so we'll put our chocolate sachet in here, which is always very messy. It's never a very runny chocolate, but it's always very sticky. And then we've got our sprinkles to go in the other side of the tray, like so. So it's quite a simple DIY, so I say I don't really need the instructions for this one. We've got a little cocktail stick, which we can shape these little bananas if you really want to. Stick it on the stick, and then we can coat it in some chocolate, like so. and then dip it in the little sprinkles, and it should taste nice and banana-y, probably a little bit like the Kitkat. Initially the chocolate in this one's quite strong. You don't tend to notice the sprinkles so much, but then right at the end the actual taste of banana comes through. I don't think the banana taste is as strong as the Kit Kats, but nonetheless that's that kind of banana candy flavouring taste that you get, which I quite like. But yeah, that's everything in this box. Please do comment down below and let me know what your favourite items were. If you get the box yourself, let me know what you thought of some of these items. Especially some of the ones I've tried it, found it a little bit difficult to identify, especially the Amiibo. I still can't quite work out what that flavouring is other than Ramune. The Sakura Cola I think is one of my favourite things in here. It's pretty cool, along with the kind of Smarties. Be interesting to see when we actually get that Coca-Cola Fanta yogurt banana mix drink in a future box. I don't know whether that'll come next month now, or it'll be a few months down the line if they've already curated those boxes. Well, otherwise, thanks for watching. Please hit the like button down in the bottom corner there if you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more unboxing videos. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.